How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. So today we're talking about the worst of the worst. So Marvel Legends, they're hit or miss, but sometimes when they miss, they really miss. There's either things we've got to fix ourselves, things that are overlooked, or just plain up bad figures with horrible ancient reuse. And that's what this list is about. It's my opinion, much like all of these top fives, top tens that people are doing right around now. So with all of that being said, here are my 5 worst Marvel Legends released this year, 2025. So let me start out before I really get into this and start talking about why one person's trash is another person's treasure. So this is my opinion. These are my 5 biggest disappointments from Marvel Legends this year. That's not to say it's everyone's disappointment or everyone's going to agree. So let's just not get offended or upset or anything and just objectively watch my video and understand where I'm coming from. And some of these are worse than others. Some of these are like, would be fine if not for a few minor issues. And some of them are absolutely abysmal. So we're going to start off with number 5. Number 5 being the worst, the least worst bad is what I will say, is Maximum Deadpool. So $50 for this figure, $60 at this point on some places, but there's a lot of issues. First of all, the accessory reuse, the guns, the swords, the knife, not enough new head sculpts. Like, we should have had an unmasked head sculpt. Does he look good? Yes. But the other problem lies in the articulation. So like, sorry, I'm knocking stuff over as I always do. Oh my god. Oh my god. So the other problem lies in the articulation, which is these arms. I've seen people's arms, the bicep joint, just snap off because they used a gummy plastic for the peg. Like, when you're moving this up, you can even see the gap in the arm. Like, you can see that there's space there. They're not tight enough. The plastic isn't hard enough, so the peg is gummy, and it will snap if you're not careful, if you don't heat it up. And I've even seen people do swaps with Black Panther's shoulders and biceps to fix that problem, and it does. But you shouldn't have to fix a $50 quote-unquote maximum figure. I do like the sculpt, I do like the all-new body, but like, when you're trying to move that arm and you feel like this bicep is going to pop off or crack off or what, unless you use the shoulder, that's a problem for $50. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Like, the Maximum Hulk, I'm not going to say it's the worst. I got it for $5, like I've said all year. So I can't really judge that based on its full price because I didn't pay full price. But at least I don't feel like he's going to break when I move a joint. Now, that soft overlay is already seeing some wear and tear, so that's a different story. But for what you get, at least you get those 3 alternate head sculpts, you get the effect pieces. For this, you're just getting a couple extra guns and you're getting dupe, which I like dupe. I think dupe is awesome. But for Maximum, this really isn't it. They could have done so much more, added so much more, made new weapons. I'm so tired of seeing these wakizashi. They're not katana. They're too small for Deadpool. Deadpool uses katana. This baby knife needs to be retired. It's ugly, it's old. And those biceps and those shoulders are just a problem. And I really don't appreciate Hasbro labeling this as Maximum and then giving people a figure that breaks almost immediately if you're not careful or if you get unlucky with the QC. So not a terrible figure, but based on expectations and price and all that stuff, definitely not worth the Maximum label. So Deadpool is number 5 on my worst Marvel Legends this year. So continuing on from that point about price and what you're getting and what you have to do to fix the figure, number 4 is going to be the Magic the Gathering Battle Damaged Peter Parker. Now, if you're not aware of the issue that this figure had, his hips, his legs were basically immovable. You had to go in there and do a fix, which is like trim the pegs down, sand it if you wanted to, and then you could actually move the legs because they're like a D20 shape, which did not leave for great movement. Once you fix that, it's fine. But there's also another issue when it comes to the articulation. And like, this is not the Renew Your Vows body. It looks like the Renew Your Vows body. It's the same size as the Renew Your Vows body, but if it was, it would have had at least a better neck peg than what we're given, because this is once again something you have to customize. I had to go in and cut out the back for just barely more movement. Like, you really don't get a lot of movement out of the neck. And this is a $40 figure. It's part of that Magic the Gathering crossover, so they're charging a premium price for it. Now, that being said, this is the main Spider-Man on my Spider-Man shelf, just because I have him hanging upside down with the mask off. This mask, I think it looks cool. But I had to customize him to be able to articulate him without breaking, because people would just get him out of the box, start moving his legs, and they would just snap off at the peg. So that's not what we want to see from a $40 figure, especially not a $40 Spider-Man figure, which is a lot of people's favorite character. And as many times as I get a Spider-Man in my top 5s or top 10s, there's always one on the worst list. And last year it was Sunfire. This year it is this one, the battle damage. And I like the sculpt. I like the damage. I like this head sculpt. I like the other masked head sculpt that we get. But you shouldn't have to fix a figure from a mass giant billion-dollar corporation that's releasing. Like, they should know what they're doing for the most part when it comes to at least releasing a figure that works. And this figure does not work. You have to customize it. You have to fix those legs, otherwise it'll break, or you have to use shock oil every time you use it. And you have to, like, carve out a piece of that neck piece if you want him to be able to move his head at all, which is crazy for a Spider-Man figure. So number 4 is the battle damage Magic the Gathering Spider-Man. As much as I do enjoy this figure, I had to fix it to enjoy it. So for that reason, he is on my worst list. And I know I mentioned the Sunfire body, and that leads me to my number 3 worst, which is the brand new, just came out, retro card mini comic wave Silver Surfer. Now, the paint looks fantastic. He's shiny. And I mentioned Sunfire Spider-Man, and this Silver Surfer is on the Sunfire body, and that's where my problem lies. Now, I understand the older one, it was cheaper, it was, you know, easier to use that mold. They didn't have the Renew Your Vows mold, or better mold. That one's right here. So they went with Sunfire, which is fine for that point. In the Marvel Legends line, they didn't have the hyper articulated, but this guy is called Silver Surfer. He's a surfer. What do surfers do? They contort their body, they twist, they move, they bend, and the Sunfire body does not lend to that at all. This figure should have been released on a repainted Renew Your Vows. They should have put it on the Renew Your Vows body. It's bigger, it's bulkier, it's got the toe joints, it's got the upper ball torso, it's got the ab crunch in the middle, so you can get him for really deep posing on that surfboard. And the Sunfire one is just lazy. It's old. It's such a bad body mold. They need to retire it. I don't care if you want to defend, oh, Hasbro needs. No, Hasbro needs to up their game if they want to charge $30 a figure. And a lot of people are just going to be out of it when they keep getting reuse and pins and all that stuff into 2026, 2027. It's a problem. And reusing the Sunfire body for so many characters, Iceman, Silver Surfer, Phantom Rider, Moon Knight, even Spider-Man at this point, retire the Sunfire body. So this figure is definitely not great because of that. He looks fine just standing there, but once you try to start moving him around and getting him into some surfing poses, it's just not there. So yeah, number 3 on my worst list is the mini comic wave Silver Surfer. Looks aside, body is terrible. Retire Sunfire, get rid of it, remove it from your vernacular, Hasbro, just break the molds. Number two is going to be, and this is, oh no. Number 2 is going to be Agent Venom. And this is actually the first time they used this body, but they used it twice this year. And I would say that the second release is actually marginally better because they actually included tentacles. Didn't improve articulation or anything, but they actually added tentacles to his back to hold weapons, which was an improvement. It's something that you need for a figure like this, because otherwise he's just a dude in some Venom looking body armor. Not only that, the only articulation he has on his torso is right there, and that's really the main thing, is no back movement, no forward movement, no waist cut whatsoever. It's all done in the upper torso, which is just baffling. And I'm not a fan of waist cuts. I hate waist cuts. But if they had at least included a waist cut in this, it would have been hidden by the belt, and it would have been slightly less egregious for posing, because he really can't do much. He kind of just stands there stoically. Of course, he's got double jointed legs and knees, but there's no boot cut. There's just a thigh cut. The rockers barely exist. So you can't really get him in any dynamic poses like crouch down or anything like that, because he'll just fall over because of those ankles. So there's not enough articulation here. And it's like, why? Why would you not do a semi-popular character and do the due diligence and redo that body? And like I said, Agent Anti-Venom released on Magic the Gathering, they added tentacles, so there's some slight improvements there, but it's not enough to save this body because there's just no articulation. No articulation. And then you bring in like the older one, the older body, which is, you know, like I have Agent Anti-Venom. I already got rid of Agent Venom when I got this one, but even he has some slightly more articulation at the waist and better ankle rockers. So it's like you didn't do what you needed to do, Hasbro. This is like a lateral upgrade rather than an upwards upgrade. So why not do the hard work, make a base body you can reuse for the 2 figures, and then, you know, obviously there's not really many figures you could use it for after that, but still there's options, there's retooling, there's deluxes, etc., all that stuff. You know, you had options here, but they didn't do it. So that puts Agent Venom / Agent Anti-Venom, he's representing both of them, at my number 2 spot for the worst Marvel Legend of 2025. And that leaves us with number 1. And number 1 is going to be no surprise to anyone because it's literally the only non-pinless figure up here. But yeah, we'll talk about it. The number 1 worst Marvel Legend of 2025 is, drumroll please, we don't need drumroll, Werewolf by Night. Oh my god, what a disappointment this figure is. In fact, like I can't even move his bicep right now, this bicep, because I'm afraid, I don't know if you can see this. You see that peg in there? You see how it's white? It's because this joint is stuck, and they use gummy pegs for his shoulder joint, his pinned shoulder. Well, the shoulder's not pinned, but the arm is. Because this body is the Jackal body, which is from like 2018. So a long time ago at this point, as far as Marvel Legends. No articulation at the torso, just back and forward, and that's it. And then ugly waist swivel, which my biggest problem with waist swivel is this. It breaks up the sculpt, it makes it ugly. No accessories. He doesn't get any alternate hands. He doesn't get an alternate head. We did get some pinless legs, but look at this knee. Look at this knee. This guy's got the right idea. He wore his brown knee. So we get one different colored knee because like, oh, torn jeans, we'll just make the knee brown, right? That'll work. Looks terrible, looks lazy. The shoulder peg is terrible and flimsy. It's just, for such a cool character, one that people were looking forward to that really needed an update. Hasbro really just, no joke, no pun intended. I can't even bend his shoulder. Like, look, you see that? Do you see that? The white, it's gonna break if I try to do it. I have to heat this up. I can't move his shoulder. It's a terrible figure, and it sucks because it's a cool character. It's a character people wanted. And Hasbro's just like, screw it. We're not gonna do the work. I know how budgets work with waves. I know they have a certain amount that they can go over with cost and retooling and making new stuff, but like to just do this is such a slap in the face to Marvel horror fans, Werewolf by Night fans, people who just wanted him to go with Man-Thing. It's just like Midnight Suns fans. Why would you do this? Because this is the only Werewolf by Night, other than maybe an MCU version if they ever do a sequel, that we're going to get. We're not going to get another 616 comic book Werewolf by Night. So why would you do it so lazily? And it's because they just don't care. They don't care. They know people will buy it if they want the character bad enough, like myself, and then just regret it, but still have it and not be able to get rid of it because there's no upgrade. There's no new version. Like the older version is probably better than this. Like I don't know how to like stress this enough, but like that bicep, the Jackal bicep was not like this. Why did they switch? Oh, there's so many bad things about this figure. I like the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks nice. There's a nice little wash on it, but other than that, it's just lazy Hasbro taking advantage of collectors not having another version of this figure. I know that Odious, that funded, the Soldier Odious, has a werewolf head and his green pants, so you can kind of make that a proxy Werewolf by Night, but I like to keep my legends all together. So yeah, speaking of all together, there is our top 5 worst Marvel Legends altogether. Number 5 was Deadpool. Number 4 was Battle Damaged Spider-Man. Number 3 was Silver Surfer. Number 2 was Agent Venom. And number 1, of course, as we just said, was the sloppy seconds Werewolf by Night. Awoo. Or Uwu. So yeah, if y'all liked my list, go ahead and smash like. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, but just be civil about it. Subscribe if you're new here. We just hit the algorithm a little bit and got some new subscribers, so welcome. Trying to reach that 4K number and give away that Moth X Spider-Man. So we're pretty close. We're about 115 away now from 4K, so we're getting there. We are getting there, so like, subscribe, comment, become a channel member if you want to support the channel even further. It's 99 cents. You get early reviews right now. Magic the Gathering Agent Anti-Venom is going up tomorrow, and then I will have Shumagorath/Gorgantos out for members first next week, and then it'll be going up for everyone on Tuesday, or this week, and then it'll be going up for everyone next Tuesday. And yeah, members get early access, so think about doing that. There's also members only live streams. I'm going to get back to the live streaming and all that stuff at a more normal schedule because it's been pretty hectic with work and stuff, but that's slowing down. So that shouldn't be as big an issue, but yeah, do all that stuff. Keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ community. If you're protesting, be extra super duper 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 safe. Also, check out my top 5 best female Marvel Legends, and I'm not going to grab all the Marvel Legends together and put them up here elimination style. I'm just going to grab my favorite 10 and talk about them. I feel like that's easier for me right now. I don't want to go through and destroy my shelves and deal with that stress. So we're going to do my top 10 Marvel Legends. That'll be the next video coming out, and then we're going to do my top 10 overall figures for the year. So that'll be fun. So stay tuned for those. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
Return to
Found a mythical Walmart end cap.
Morty, you're still watching this crap, isn't this? Review figures and toys and stuff. Aren't you a little old for toys? Geez, Rick, you know, I don't think you should call her a bitch, and I kind of like her videos, so maybe you should shut the up. Q, Morty. Q.